Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Angela, and I am here doing a run through of my podcast, um, tentatively named Woke Through. And I want to introduce you to my mascot. This is Nomi. This is Gnome Energy, and they are known for luck, protection, wealth, and the connection to the earth. So she is quite wonderful. I fell in love with her, and we have bonded already. So just wanted to introduce you. She will be over here on my left side, where she can monitor the energy in this space. So this is not a content-driven podcast. It's a frequency transmission, and it exists for listeners who are spiritually aware but craving embodiment and grounding and comfort. The core message does not stop at awareness. It continues to embodiment. So Woke Through is the space where insight becomes identity and consciousness become lived through truth. So if you know a little bit about me, I am artistic, I'm a mystic, I'm an intuitive guide, and an embodied truth teller. I speak from lived experience rather than theory. I weave warmth and courage and poetry and radical honesty so that my humanity is not edited out. So I would like to do a grounding to start this off and open up the energy. So I would like everyone to close their eyes, inhale big deep breath from your core for about 7 seconds, hold for about 6 seconds, and then exhale out your mouth for 11 seconds. Okay. Repeat again. Deep breath in from your core, about 6 seconds to hold, and then 11 seconds to exhale through your mouth. And then one more time. Deep breath in from your core, about 6 seconds, hold for 6 seconds, and then exhale for 11 seconds out your mouth. Okay. And then you're going to ground yourself. You put your feet flat on the ground, and you're going to visually drop all your cares, disappointments, pains, anxiety, all of that. Just visualize it dropping to the ground and being absorbed into the earth. Okay, that energy is going to go into Gaia, which is earth, and it's going to recycle, renew, and refresh that energy that you drop down. That dissonant energy is going to drop it down, and it's going to recycle it. And then we're going to send that renewed energy back up into your system. Okay? And if you really, really pay attention to your body, you'll feel the difference when you release what wasn't working for you and then honor what comes in. Okay? Okay. And the next thing I want you to do is to set your intention for the question that you asked me for, so that you receive the highest insights to all involved. Okay? Okay. So we're going to seal this intention with sound. Okay. So I want you to know that there is no emotional dumping here, that I offer sovereign release. And by that I mean that you have sovereignty control over how you move through the world, how you show up every day, and that nobody can disrupt your peace but you. So keep that in mind when you set your intention, and then we'll get started. Okay? So my first question comes from, I'm going to use initials, okay, because some of this is very personal. So for DS, she asked me, how do we navigate these political times? Okay. So Spirit, what would you like for me to share with DS? Okay. So the energy is very interesting for DS. She is very, very much grounded right about now. She is logically managed, but sometimes she struggles with her spiritual side, because like most humans, we forget that that's a very big part of who we are on this planet. So when we have been confronted with something that kind of knocks us off kilter, we tend to forget that, Spirit is always with us, and Spirit is always helping you through synchronicities, signs that we don't always recognize. Sometimes it can be in a song, sometimes it could be in a movie that you're watching, sometimes it can be in a book that you're reading. And somewhere along those interactions, you'll get something that'll ping your spirit. And that's basically Spirit talking to you saying, pay attention to this. So I pull cards, and the deck I'm using is the Power of Surrender cards. And the cards I specifically pulled for her were surrender your belief in scarcity. And scarcity is not necessarily not being without funds. Sometimes it's not believing in who you are and what you bring to the table. What you bring to the table is all your accumulated wisdom and knowledge. And if you ignore that, well, that's kind of saying you don't believe in what you have literally experienced and brought to the table. So the universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. And abundance, once again, has nothing to do with money. It has to do with your wisdom, your insight, the part of you that interacts with everybody that you meet throughout the day or the month or the year. We all come with something that we can use to help the next person. So that's abundance. And so it shows up in a lot of different ways, and it shows up pretty much every day, but we don't always recognize abundance. So in this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. Okay, so surrender to your belief in scarcity. Second card was surrender your ego. Okay, and your ego is a part of who you are. It is a part of your spirit. It's the conscious side of your spirit. And then there's the unconscious side, which pretty much dwells in the spirit. So you can't have more of one. You got to balance it out. The universe, the basic laws of the universe is polarity. It's got to be even keeled. So, and once again, being human, we all tend to tilt over into the reactions of, you know, the day to day, or the overall global aspects of the world at large. And, you know, a lot of times we default to the negative side of our ego, you know. But if you think with gratitude versus attitude, it kind of, you go to neutral. You know, you go to neutral, because gratitude is a huge part of moving forward in your life. Being of service to other, and, you know, whatever messages you send out, you send them from your heart. And of course, I understand that everybody gets wounded all the time, sometimes, but that's kind of how it works. You know, you have to live your experiences to learn the lessons, to gain the wisdom, because all through these years, everything you've encountered has made you who you are today. You know, there's no bad here. It's just learning. So if you learn how to operate out of gratitude instead of attitude, that's going to help you get through all of this. You know, and this message, even though it's for DS, it's pretty much for everybody. You know, just think about that. And then the last card I have for her is surrender to play. Surrender to play. Because we often forget to enjoy where we are, enjoy what we have, enjoy where we're going, enjoy the people in our lives. We forget that. We get so caught up in the minutia of society and culture and religion and all of those external factors. You know, the things that you do for you, they feed you. They feed your spirit, they feed your soul, and they feed the people around you. You're like a pebble. You're like a pebble. And so whatever you bring to the people that you interact with, that energy, it resonates out like a ripple on a pond. So remember to, you know, if you like your gardening, if you like painting or writing or cooking, whatever it is, indulge that, because it will feed your soul. Okay? So thank you, DS. Okay, so next up is DW. DW wants to know how to draw income from her paintings. She believes that it's possibly from a block. And she is setting the intention to give her art permission. I love that. Permission to sell her art, to be free to allow it to do their work in the world. That's an awesome intention, Miss DW. That is really, really awesome. So I'm going to take a look at your energy as I figure out what deck I want to read with you from. I think I'm going to read from this one too, because that one seems kind of important. Let's see. Okay. So this is how it works for me, guys. So when I get a question, I ask people to give me their name, because that gives me their vibration. So the vibration kind of lets me the portal open so that I can pick up the energy better. And I ask my spirit to ask your spirit, what do you want to know? What do you want to tell the person that I'm talking to? So that's kind of how it works for me. There are other gifts that I have that come into play, but they come into play when I need them. So basically, I just kind of work off of the energy, and spirit pretty much guides it. Okay? All right. So, DW, let's see what we for you. Okay. Now the energy I'm getting from DW is she seems to be, what's the word? What's the word? It's not frustration, it's she doesn't believe in herself. She's been doing a lot of her work for many, many years, and it is stellar. But she weighs herself, or she pits herself against other people, what they do, how they do it, how they're functioning. And she said that she felt there was a block, and it is, and it's hers. She actually set that block up herself because, like from the other deck of cards, she has a belief in scarcity. She doesn't believe that she's entitled to what she deserves. Didn't believe it. So this seems to be a long going theme with her. She's grateful for when she gets acknowledgement, which is basically what it boils down to. She wants acknowledgement for her longevity at doing what she's been doing, and her skill set and what she brings to the table. But at the same time, she kind of negates, or she subjugates. That's the word. So, for example, you want to buy a car, right? And you say, Lord, I want a car. And so the Lord is listening and saying, well, okay, anything else? Nah, oh, nothing else. So he sends you a car. So the car you get is not what you want. But you didn't tell him what you wanted. You just said, I want a car. I want a new car. But you didn't say that. You didn't say, I want a new car. You said, I want a car, right? So neighbor comes and said, hey, I got this car. It's been sitting in my yard. I don't need to do it. You can have it. If you need to work on it, whatever. They give you the car. You got the car. You asked for a car. You did not specify what you wanted. You just said, I want a car. So the car got no air conditioner, got nothing to listen to on the radio. It barely moves. And then you got to sink money into a car that was given to you because that's what you asked for. So there you go. So, and that's kind of how she's been working it. She kind of just asked for the thing, but she doesn't put any dressing on it. It's just like, it's like white bread. No peanut butter, no jelly. It's just white bread. So that's what you got. So believing that that's all you deserved. So if you think about what you're asking for and know that you're going to get it because you believe that you're worthy of getting it, right? Okay. So I'm doing 2 decks for you. I'm going to pull these cards and then we will see what Spirit says. Oof, okay. Ouch. Okay. Okay, got it. All right, so the first deck, I'm going, where's the other cards? Oh, here it is. So the first deck I read from is called Signature Oracle. This is one of my favorite decks. This is from a 13th generation seer from Australia. She's pretty awesome. So the first card that we got for DW was challenges, difficult situation. Okay. The other one, searching, find yourself. And the third one, balance, the ups and downs. Okay. So basically, it's pretty much what I said. You know, she holds herself back, and she tends to tilt from one side, which is the lack of belief in herself and her talents. And that creates that's her block. That's basically her block. So and then she also knows that there is a challenge in her life that she's aware of it, but there's some timidity about addressing it. She is she's afraid